You should have seen it, Henry. I was exploring this cave the other day.
Tell me what happened next.
There was this big ogre who was all like, "Go away, noob." And I was like, "Huh? Oh yeah? Get him. Wait, what was that? Oh no, Henry, watch out! No, Henry.
I fucking hate you.
Not Henry. Wait, what?
I am Morpheus.
Morpheus, thank goodness you're here.
The honor is mine.
They took Henry.
I like to burn fish.
Wait, what?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Follow me.
I guess I've got to trust him. Here goes nothing.
What is up, guys? It's Naf here. So yes, I did decide it was time to get myself a full Armadyl set.
And you finished Henry.
On that note, I'd love to know your thoughts on the intro thing you just seen. It was completely unnecessary and random, but I had a lot of fun doing that kind of editing. It was a nice change of pace from the usual cutting clips and just recording audio that comes with making just the standard RuneScape type of video. Now on that note, it does take a lot of time to do that kind of thing, so if you guys didn't enjoy it at all, then let me know. Obviously I had fun making it and that's what it is about, but obviously I enjoy making any real kind of video and I enjoy playing RuneScape, and I uploaded it on YouTube for the sake of other people's enjoyment. So if you didn't like it, that's fine, just let me know and I won't do it. Otherwise, if you did, that's great. I'll probably try to do it a bit more in the future just to make things a bit more different. But nevertheless, at Armadyl, I did start off using ranged with a Sun Spear and Krill's armor. Now this was mainly because I had the mindset that you couldn't actually use magic against Kriera and you had to use range. I'm not sure why I thought this. I guess it was because the boss is somewhat like a ranged minion and it drops ranged gear, so I assumed magic wouldn't be effective against it, and I actually struggled a lot with my Barrows gear. But in saying that, I was super lucky. I got an Armadyl chestplate on my first trip after about my first 4 kills, but the trip did end pretty quickly. Even with a unicorn, I couldn't stay any longer than about 15 minutes, which is pretty bad considering I did have soul split. So at this point, I did give it a bit more thought and realized I could use magic, so I was able to chuck on my subjugation with a Celtic staff, and it made it dramatically easier. Although the boss was definitely tougher than General Grador. For example, my fastest kill over the whole time at Armadyl was 36 seconds. Whilst at General Grador it was 21 seconds. Now that was nearly half the time. It's pretty much due to the fact Kriera has a lot more life points, sitting at 75,000, whilst General Grador only has 40,000, which I wasn't aware of. So to me it was actually a surprise how much harder Armadyl was, but I did press on because I wanted a full tier 70 set that didn't degrade. So next up I got War Priest legs whilst getting kill count. I have to say, even getting kill count was significantly harder at Armadyl compared to Bandos. Bandos you can obviously just kill goblins, which are very low level, whilst at Armadyl there's nothing easier than the standard Aviancies, and even they are rather tough if they start to pile you. And not long after I got a Godsword Shard 3, adding to my large collection of Godsword Shards. And next up I got an Armadyl helmet. Now I did actually miss the recording of it dropping, so there wasn't a beam, but as you can see I do have it in my inventory. And next drop was an effigy. Now I'm still really never able to open these things in full. I only have a few skills above 90, but it's still a free 5k experience if I hand it in at the museum. And next drop was a Godsword Shard 2. I have over 10 of these now, so I definitely have more than I'm ever going to need. Next up was a Godsword Shard 1. Now, I would obviously prefer an Armadyl piece of armor, but I don't have many Godsword Shard 1s for whatever reason, so I'm actually pretty happy about getting this. And next up is another Godsword Shard. It's Godsword Shard 2. I have a ton of these, and I don't really care for getting any more at all. And next up, I did actually get 2 levels. I got 101 magic, and about 1 or 2 boss kills later, I got 101 defense. Now that's pretty cool, but I'm never going to stop using the 99 defense cape because the effect, which can save you, I think it's once an hour or so, is really useful, and it did save me quite a few times here at Armadyl. And next up was an actual drop, an Armadyl buckler. Now, I kind of forgot this was a drop. I'm kind of interested to see if I can make it work. To be frank, I don't see the point in using a ranged shield. The only time I use shields when ranging is if I didn't have an anti-fire potion and was fighting some sort of dragon, given there's offhand crossbows in the game, but I'm interested to see if I can make it work, if I can get my hands on a decent main hand ranged weapon. Next up, I did actually get what I considered the best drop of the whole trip. I got my first bossing pet on this character, and even between this character and my main, it was the first decent bossing pet I got. Now that's obviously subject to opinion, but the only bossing pet I had on my main account was the King Black Dragon pet, which a lot of people would argue King Black Dragon is hardly a boss anymore. But then again, Armadyl's pretty easy as well, but I was stoked about getting this pet. It's really cool, and after getting a ton of Godsword shards, it was pretty motivating to keep going. So at this point, I had gotten 273 kills and had been there for a full day. So I definitely not had as much luck as I did at Bandos, but nevertheless, early on day 2, I did get an Armadyl boots drop, which was awesome, although I didn't have the recorder on, so yet again, I missed the loot beam, but you can see it's in my inventory. And then, about an hour or so later, I got a second Armadyl boot drop, so that's my first Armadyl duplicate item, which is a shame, but there we go, there's the loot beam that was missed. Next up was a War Priest chest whilst getting kill count. Now, I actually don't know what to do with these War Priest sets. My bank's always getting full and I always have to sell junk or just drop things. But now that I'm doing a lot of God Wars Dungeon 1, I'm finding I have a ton of these pieces of War Priest and I frankly never use them anymore. They're really great on a starting Iron Man, but as you start to get a lot of tier 70 sets and better, you begin to find less and less use for them. So to my knowledge, they can't go into any of the wardrobes in the player and house, which is a shame. So I may have to look at alching them or something. I don't really want to, because it is a bit of a rare drop and it's fun to collect, but it's just taking up and wasting bank space. Now, I do go quite dry on getting any good loot. I get a lot of drops, but it's nothing great, so I'm actually going to skim through it pretty quickly, so it isn't too boring. So next up, a Godsword Shard 1, and the next clip is a Godsword Shard 3, and another Godsword Shard number 2. And whilst getting kill count, I got War Priest boots. And next drop, what would you know, it's another Godsword Shard 2. And next clip for something different, I did get 103 hit points, and on the next kill I did get War Priest gloves as well. So after a lot of junky sort of drops, I did finally get something good, an Armadyl chain skirt. So I was really happy about getting this drop. It meant I only needed gloves to have my complete Armadyl set. But as you would imagine, next drop I got another Godsword Shard 2. So at this point I am at 512 kill count and it's been 2 days. So I'm pretty keen to stop doing this boss. As I said, it's a lot harder than Grador and I'm having a lot less luck as well. So next up, getting another piece of the War Priest set. I got the War Priest helm whilst getting kill count. And here we are getting 102 magic, and 2 kills later I got 102 defense. So this boss does actually give good experience. I was getting about 400k combat experience an hour split between magic and defense and hit points, which was actually a little bit more I found than when at Bandos. And for my final drop, whilst I was at Armadyl, I did get a second Armadyl chestplate. That's right, unfortunately I didn't get the Armadyl gloves I wanted. So at this point I was at 554 kills and I didn't feel like it was worth investing any more time at this boss, considering out of all the Armadyl pieces, the gloves are the easiest to replace just because there are Ascension gloves. The tier 90 ranged gloves, which are really good but they do degrade, but they're pretty simple to get from Ascension creatures when you are on Slayer task. So that's pretty much everything in terms of the Armadyl stuff for this video, but I did want to take a minute to actually talk about things with the channel, so if you're not interested about that's completely fine, thanks for watching, and I should have a similar video out for Saradomin within the next few days, so definitely check that out. So to anyone who's managed to stick around for this long into the video, I'm guessing you may have liked the video or the channel or something like that, so I would really value your opinion because I'm at a crossroads on the type of content I want to make. Essentially, I'm unsure if I should spend more time on editing, progressing in-game, or neither. Now that might sound obvious, I should do more of both, but it is just a case of they both take time and therefore the videos are slower, especially when it comes to editing. And just for some perspective, if I kept the editing rather low and just focused on in-game things, I could probably get a video out every 1 to 3 days. Whilst if I do put a high emphasis on progressing in-game and editing, I'm really looking at only 1 video a week. Now from my perspective, I enjoy making videos either way, whether they're high edited, or not, but I do upload them to YouTube for the sake of other people's entertainment. So that's why I'd really like to know what your feelings are on it, and I'd love your feedback. I'm happy doing either. I'm enjoying playing the game and I'm enjoying making the videos. So I'm just sort of interested if you do value the editing or if you would prefer just more frequent content. Because at the end of the day, in regards to this channel, I just want to be enjoying the game myself and enjoying making videos. And if I can get other people to enjoy it as well through the videos, then I'm pretty much happy, and that's sort of the goal of the channel in general. So if you do have an opinion on this, feel free to just leave a comment on the video or message me on YouTube, or you can add me in game. I'd just love to know your thoughts and opinions on it. But other than that, that pretty much wraps up this video. I apologize for the lengthy gap between this video and the previous. I definitely spent too much time editing this video, but it was really fun and it did turn into more than I originally intended. But that is it for this one. Thank you so much to anyone that's made it this far. You're awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.